Have you ever felt the weight of silence? The kind of silence that settles in after the laughter is gone and the house feels too big? For 82-year-old Arthur, silence was his most loyal companion. Ever since Martha passed, each day was a copy of the one before. Breakfast for one, the newspaper, the empty chair across the table. He wasn't living, he was just waiting. He thought his story had already been written, but fate was holding on to one final chapter, one he could have never imagined. And it all started with an unexpected visitor. His daughter, Sarah, saw the loneliness in her father's eyes. She knew that words wouldn't help. What he needed was a presence, one that didn't need words at all. At the local shelter, she didn't look for the most playful puppy. She looked for a pair of eyes that understood time. And she found him. Max, a 14-year-old veteran whose previous owner had also passed on. He wasn't anyone's first choice. He was old, quiet, and just like Arthur, seemed to have given up on waiting for anything new. When Sarah brought him home, their first meeting was silent. The first few days were strange. Two old hearts, each carrying its own losses, circling one another with caution. Arthur would put down the food, Max would eat. Arthur would sit in his armchair, Max would lie down at a safe distance. Arthur even bought a new toy, a red rubber ball, hoping for a spark of life. He rolled it gently towards Max. The ball stopped at his paws, and the old dog just looked at it, then back at Arthur, as if to say, "I don't remember how to play anymore." The silence that followed felt heavier than before. But then, on one cold afternoon, something shifted. Arthur was dozing in his chair, and without noticing, his blanket slipped to the floor. Max, who was lying nearby, got up slowly, his body stiff with age, took a corner of the blanket in his mouth, and awkwardly dragged it closer to Arthur's feet. Arthur woke up with the movement and saw the scene. His eyes filled with tears. It wasn't a trick. It wasn't a grand gesture. It was a small act of care, of companionship. In that moment, the silence in Arthur's house was no longer heavy. It was filled with a new presence. A soft breath, a slow walk down the hall, the certainty that he was no longer alone. Arthur started waking up not out of habit, but because Max needed to go outside. He started to smile again, laughing at how Max snored louder than he did. Their slow walks around the block became a ritual. One day, a neighbor Arthur hadn't spoken to in years stopped him. She wasn't looking at Arthur. She was smiling at Max. "He has a kind soul," she said. For the first time, Arthur felt a flicker of pride. He wasn't just a lonely old man anymore. He was Max's person. He was caring. And in caring for Max, he was really caring for himself. That 14-year-old dog who the world had overlooked didn't rescue Arthur from loneliness. He reminded him of something he had forgotten, that it's never too late to give and receive love, that even in our winters, a new spring can blossom. Their story wasn't about an ending, but about a beautiful and unexpected new beginning. A pet's companionship heals the soul, but often, especially with rescue dogs like Max, they carry their own silent wounds. Anxiety, the fear of being left alone, a dread of loud noises. We give them a home, but we also need to give them peace of mind. If you have a companion who suffers from stress or anxiety, and you want to help them feel truly safe and peaceful in your home, there's a very special method called the Dog Calming Code. It doesn't use force or tricks. It teaches you how to switch off your dog's panic and create an environment of deep security. I've left the link for you to discover the dog calming code in the description and in the top comment. Give your friend the gift of tranquility. They trust you to do it. Leave a comment below and share your pet story. Did they change your life too? We would love to know. See you next time.